Good morning, everybody. Got Agita there, and both the babies very nicely settled on perches in the hall. And during the night, babies were in the bed with me as usual, and Agita was in the hall. And at one point, I think one baby was in the bed, that corner. Agita was there, and I was here, and the other baby, I think, was in the hall. Got up, gave everybody treats, and I'm just lying in bed. The alarms are starting to go off because I have to get up fairly soon and start getting ready to go to the dentist. So here, just about to see the dentist. I'm sitting in the chair. Not fun, but anyway, life it out. At least I'm not going to get clean this time. I hope he can extract, but we'll see. Stressed out over being 5 minutes late. It's only 15 minutes waiting in the chair, but that's normal. Anyway, bye for now. Lying in Colorado socks that I got yesterday. That, supposedly from the kids. I bought it for myself, obviously, because my kids can't go to Rama's and buy stuff because the cats. But if cats could do that, they would have been me. I can look at them while I'm being drilled on. Oh. Anyway, bye for now. It didn't turn out well, so it was very awkward getting that thing in. They never like my mouth. So then the dentist said I needed another X-ray, so they came and took another X-ray. Hopefully this one will show. I can feel. Definitely one tooth, very loose, and he seems to think there's two. Oh well. It was distraction, maybe some pain afterwards, and then taking meds, and I'm not going to want to slither or go to the casino. Okay, here I am in the car. I was really hoping he would just extract today, but it's more complicated than that. There are 2 teeth, apparently, that are loose, and one may or may not have to be removed. The other one will have to be removed eventually, but I don't know, maybe sooner rather than later. However, he doesn't want to do anything until the infection subsides, so he's prescribed antibiotics. And he says that on the second tooth, there is a lot of bacterial buildup, because I didn't go for my cleaning, and I postponed it. And so he goes, that will relieve some of the pain, antibiotic, and it needs a cleaning. I was willing to have it done today, but a couple of problems. One is he thinks that it will be better to have the cleaning after the infection subsides a bit with the antibiotic. And the second is, there's no way around this. The one cleaner that I actually liked, or the one hygienist, she actually met Carrie Fisher at a Comic-Con. I think she and her husband are kind of nerds. They're into that kind of thing. So, they didn't have cats. They had a hamster, I think. But fortunately for her, unfortunately for me, she's on maternity leave. So I'm happy for her. She's going to have a human child and all that stuff. But I don't have a hygienist. I know there's a new one here. I could hear her through the wall. She was way too happy and cheerful, and she was also lecturing. I don't want to be lectured. If I get lectured by a hygienist, I will probably tell them to fuck off. So I don't know. That is not sounding good. But apparently, I told the doctor, I said, don't you have a slightly depressed, kind of a morose, hygienist? And he goes, oh, no, you love this one. She'll do the cleaning next week. And I'm like, frick. So anyway, and the doctor's very good. He gave me a $50 discount because we were discussing Monkey Man, and he's a film buff, and I said, you must see it. So we're talking about it. He's going on the weekend. He's like all excited. He's a real film buff. So that's so shit. I gotta go get the antibiotic. In the meanwhile, I'm here in Richmond Hill. I might as well go to host for the buffet. I haven't been to there for a long time, and I really like their buffet. I might even eat chicken. Fuck it. Anyway, we'll see. Bye for now. I was coming to have the host buffet. It was off, I think, on Richmond Hill, but over that way somewhere. And I entered a host, and the thing, it brought me here. It's the same place, but it's become a very small restaurant in this plaza, and they don't have buffet. I was coming only for the buffet, because I used to really like their buffet. So I'll find something else. Okay, I ended up just looking online, Richmond Hill, lunch specials, and there was a Thai place, Thai Basil. It's a plaza. Everything seems to be in plazas up here. But this is a bigger plaza. So they had a lunch special, and there was a Thai place, Thai Basil. And I came here, and they have green curry, not shrimp, but vegetable. I mean, they had chicken, but I'm kind of not eating chicken. I was tempted, but I'm like going, let's just do veggie. So green curry, veggie tofu, and it comes with a spring roll, and it's very nice. It's small, but it's tasty. Hot and sour, or tom yum. I think tom yum. It's got a kick. It's not spicy. Okay, the food is really good. There were all kinds of hot sauces. There's a rice base, and there's the chili oil, and then there's the sambo, and the soy sauce, and there's a vegetarian spring roll, and there's a tom yum soup. I've added lots of that stuff. And the green curry veggie is just arrived, and lots of sauce, and I put stuff on top. It's supposed to be spicy to begin with, but excellent. Now, the only problem is that my tooth is still loose, and he goes, oh, no, it won't come out. Feels like every time I take a bite, and I accidentally chewed from the left side of my mouth. I thought the tooth was going to come out. It's like grinding. It's like really, and he's like, oh, no, it's okay. And I'm like going, he said, yeah, try to choose from the right side of your mouth. I was about to go to a PetSmart and then head back. I got a pharmacy near, then I parked the car, I walked to the pharmacy. I go, why not just go to there's a drug mart right in this plaza in Richmond Hill. And I'm like, oh, why not just get it here, and that way I can take my first dose right away. I've already eaten, and I've got cola in the car. I've got water in the car even, because I knew that I might have to take meds or something. Or I thought I might be having a tooth taken out. So I was getting prepared for pain meds, and I kept water and everything. So I'm like, okay, let's just go. And the pharmacist is straightforward. Amoxicillin or whatever, antibiotic. It says 15 minutes. So I'm just going to shop. I don't know if there's anything I want here. There's other stuff in the plaza. Everything out here is plazas. There's a lot of plazas. I guess it's kind of suburbs. So anyway, let's look. Let me see what they have. Anyway, bye for now. And I'll take my first dose right away. Then I can go to Drug Mart and do a thing. Oh, there are some chocolate bunnies. Maybe they're on sale. Maybe I'll get these. Yeah. Anyway, bye for now. Get a bumper sticker for this car saying this vehicle stops at every PetSmart. Passes. Bye for now. This is, I think, southern Richmond Hill, kind of heading back towards Toronto. Bye for now. Got home a couple of minutes ago, just putting away stuff, a whole bunch of things I got from PetSmart in Richmond Hill, and all the chocolate bunnies and things I got from the Drug Mart while I was waiting for my prescription. And so we've got Agita there, and we've got one of the babies here, and we've got the other baby here running around. And it was a little bit harrowing on the way back. I mean, it's not such a relief to be home, not because they went to a casino or slithering or anything like that, just the whole dental thing, and then traffic. I stopped at the, had my lunch, got the, I'm glad I took the antibiotic when I did out there, because I wouldn't have been able to make it to the pharmacy here in time. Well, at least the local one, I'd have to go to the Shoppers. So if I go to the Shoppers, I might as well just go there, which is exactly what I did. So I took my first dose of antibiotic at about 4 o'clock after the Thai lunch, and I bought those chocolate bunnies and things, and then there was a PetSmart, and I went and, bought some treats and some food and some cans, and then go back to the car, and then had to go to the bathroom, so I went back in, and I bought more stuff. And then I'm coming back, and the GPS on the phone keeps wanting me to take 407 and pay $25 or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not in a rush. And it keeps saying, make a U-turn, turn left. And I'm like going, no. And the only route I knew was Yonge Street. So I came all the way back, all the way to 401 on Yonge Street. And then 401 was like a parking lot, 5 o'clock, construction. So it took me 2 hours. It's now the next day. Agita's nicely settled there, and both the babies are settled. You can see one head is up towards the front, and one is peeking out at the back. I had an okay night. I took another antibiotic, and then I got up like middle of the night, and I felt like one of my ears was very uncomfortable. One of my ears felt like it needed to pop, but like really badly. I didn't realize that could be such an uncomfortable sensation. but it was like really uncomfortable. So I looked up online, you're supposed to hold your nose and blow and do this and do that, and didn't help all that much. But apparently it's not unusual when you have a bad tooth infection. So, it kind of migrates to ear infection, and then you get the popping ear thingy. Oh, well, anyway, so I managed to get back to sleep. It's slightly better now. It's still there, but I'm hoping it'll clear up with so I took my next antibiotic, and took my morning antibiotic, and I'm planning on, I fed the kids, everything's fine, worked in journal entries, less pull, towards casino and towards the other thing, the main thing, and towards casino, just because there's so much distraction with the tooth and the ear and all of this stuff. And doctor's office called, made an appointment for that. I got a vaccine I got to take at the end of the month and see my doctor, and then I got a rebook. I think I'm going to back. Agita's there, and one of the babies is there. And then the other baby is sitting very nicely on my spot, So he can sit there. I'll sit here. If he's still there, I'll just sit over there. I won't ask him to move. Anyway, I got the Advil, and I just took a couple. My dentist recommends it. And I got the bigger food. So I'm gonna have this in a minute, Just gonna get checked. My luncheon is also going to be whatever is left. Is lots. This is fish curry. I asked for the spicy. That's palak paneer. That's rice. That comes with the palak paneer. And the naan comes with the lunch special with the palak paneer for an extra $1, $1.50, something like that. And then this is another $18 or whatever. Total was, I think, very reasonable, like $29, So I'm just going to eat, heating up some more naan. It got cold by the time I brought it, and I've already taken my Advil. I'm going to eat, watch TV, relax with the kids. I'll give you guys food later, sweethearts. Okay. Anyway, and to keep this there, I'm with the chair. It's their favorite new favorite spot. Bye for now. Okay, I'm home now, and I'm not going to show the person, but there's a maintenance person come to clean the air conditioning heating vents. The kids are, because of the vacuuming, so what they do is they have a big industrial vacuum like that, and one's kind of watching. The other two, I think, Agita and the brother, this is the bold one, obviously. It's like not going to hide. So I was just sitting here working on journal entries and thinking of going for breakfast or brunch. I'm glad I didn't, because with all this happening, the kids were freaked out. And they sent a notice saying they were going to do the cleaning on Friday, but I forgot. They come twice a year, once in spring and once in fall. The stranger danger is over, and the big vacuum, is huge industrial heavy-duty vacuum is out of the condo. Everybody has come out to investigate what exactly has happened. There has to be investigations. So I've moved the chairs back. Everybody's here. So one of the babies there, and this is the bolder one. You got the other baby there, and you've got Agita wandering around there, because we had to move things in the front hall too, So after all of this, I was just going to stay home and do some writing, and I was going to have some, maybe fry an egg and do some mushrooms. But after all this excitement, and now that, the cleaning has been done, I don't have to worry about, them coming back in. I might as well go out for breakfast. Everybody, I decided to come out for breakfast because, the guy came and did all the cleaning and everything, and there was excitement, and then he'd already been, so I said, okay, I might as well go have breakfast, have some fresh air, have a drive. So I came here to Excelsior on Kipling. Just made it. They closed at 4. I got here at like 3:20, and she said if you order right now. So I ordered. For a change, instead of a Benny, I went for salmon, avocado, egg. But it might be a little easier on my teeth. I'm chewing for the right side of my mouth, and toast. So I don't think it really makes a difference, but it's good. It's really nice. So I'm going to eat this, and then I don't think I need to go to bed for it. Let's head back to the kids. Bye for now. Hello, everybody. It's now the next day. It's around noon, and we got up quite a while earlier, and then we all went kind of not back to bed, but I'm just kind of lying here looking at stuff on my phone. So we've got Agita nicely settled there, and we've got both the babies nicely settled in the hall. Yesterday, after I taped, I actually did some writing. I stayed in with the kids after I came back from my late brunch. Did some writing, fed the kids. I tried to do some reading, but couldn't really get into it. So I just relaxed with the kids, and I did do some writing, which is more than I've done in a while. So, and then went to bed. Baby's on the bed with me very nicely at night, both of them. And one of them was kneading away on that thing, and I think it's Lcee. That's his favorite toy there, and he brings it onto the beds. And then the other baby came and settled on the bed as well, Finn, and both the babies were on the bed with me all night. And in the morning we got up, had treats, went back to bed, got up again, fed the kids, and I've just been relaxing, So, and now Agita is in the bed, and both the babies in the hall, so everybody's taking turns with the... Everybody, I'm here at a Vietnamese restaurant on Ossington, and I read this morning that supposedly this Ossington Street has been selected as one of the top, I think, in the top 100 of the coolest streets in the world. This is okay street. I mean, there's some nice restaurants and bars and cafes, but coolest in the world, even in the top 100. Maybe I'm not going to the right places, but anyway, this is one of my favorite Vietnamese restaurants, and I'm having the minced shrimp on sugarcane with vermicelli, and they bring a spring roll. Usually spring rolls are vegetarian, and I just confirmed it when he brought it. I said, it's vegetarian, right? He goes, no. He says, it's pork. But if you want vegetarian, you have to ask. So yeah, he said, no, not a problem. He was very nice about it. He said, no problem. He took it back and he brought it with the vegetarian. The vermicelli is a little sort of, bland and cold for me. I've tried this dish once before in a place in Queensland. I think it's better here. The shrimp on sugar cane is better here, and there I think they put pork on top of it, meat, and I didn't even bother to, little pieces like crumbles. So you have to be, I guess, I'm learning. You have to be very specific when you go into Vietnamese restaurants and go no meat. Just I only eat seafood or vegetable, So that's what, the soup would have been a lot more filling, but then soup doesn't save. I've taken it home and then reheated it, and it's never the same, so I went for this. Now the news is, I had an okay morning with the kids, had a good night with the kids, good morning with the kids, and then, in spite of everything, the poll wrapped up. And, if I had not been on antibiotics, so I'm very glad I'm on the antibiotics. If I had not been on the antibiotics, it would not have been good. It would not have been good. So, but I don't really, I even consider the casino, but there's no point, because I'm not going to Slytherin party because I am on antibiotics. So, and I do not want to mix that, and I've got the dental surgery coming up, and it's going to be expensive, and it's going to be painful, and I don't need to add another thing to the mix here. So I don't really need the casino control burn, even though I had considered it. And I said instead, so by the time I did all of this and I battled and I thought about this and I thought about that, it's like 4 o'clock. So then I'm like going, it's not lunchtime, it's not brunch anymore, it's supper. So I decided to come here. I haven't been in a long time, and I do like that sugar cane shrimp. So I'm going to have this, and then I'll stop at the drug mart, and I'm in this area. Rather than get takeout from here for later, there won't be much left of this in them. So I might just pick up a shrimp roti from Island Foods, which is on the way back. Good morning, everybody. Had a good night with the kids. Last night just stayed in, worked on journal entries, watched some TV, stuff like that. Fed the kids and had a good night with the kids. Good morning with the kids. Some pull, in spite of the toothache, and it's kind of affected the ear as well. It's still kind of, the ear thingy, popping, not popping thing, which apparently is not all that uncommon. I was hoping it would clear up with the antibiotic. But I'm still taking the antibiotic, everything's fine. And I just fed the kids, had a very good night with the kids, baby's on the bed, Agita came on the bed in the morning, the usual routine. And as I said, in spite of all of that, still some pull, but I'm a big push is that I'm on antibiotics, so I couldn't really go party if I wanted to. I don't think antibiotics mixes all that well with party. So, and the other thing, and because there's a push against that, I haven't needed the casino control burn. I mean, there's still a bit of a pull for that because that's got a pull in its own right. But I was really using it as a control burn, so I don't really need the control burn if I have the big push of being on antibiotics against the other thing. Plus, of course, as always, kids are the biggest pushes of all. But I think I'm just going to now go out for a walk and to that place, the brunch place I went to last time because I liked it, and the people were nicer. So I might walk over there and then have a nice long walk, and that might help, kind of reduce the generalized pull, as it were. That's what's happening. Bye for now. I walked all the way to the place that I came to last time, over here, and the same host guy, and I told him anywhere but the bar. There were lots of tables available, and he seats me, and there are 3 or 4 servers, and they seem to be busy, even though there aren't a lot of people there. And I got the same server, and he said that he told the same guy that I saw last time was not friendly. Was not friendly, not helpful, very, very slow. And there were other people who, I would have preferred, but this guy, and he's not making me a priority. He's like, he's doing coffee here, and he's going there, and then he goes, after like 5-10 minutes, he goes, I'll be with you soon, sir, shortly, sir, something like that. And I'm like, going, okay. And another 5 minutes, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, fuck it. So I just got up and I told the host guy, I said the service here is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. I said I'm going back to a ferocious looking doggy thing. It's got a muzzle on, but it saw this dog, and the woman was standing here with the small dog, and the big dog, it was like growling and it wanted to attack, and I'm like cowering in the corner there, and I thought there was going to be a big dog fight. But at least the big dog had a muzzle on, and Nutty Professor was like in the corner going, dogs, vicious dogs. Bad. Anyway, bye for now. And I got a little annoyed here too, because I got here and I saw that there were 2 or 3 tables for single tables. There was actually fewer than now, but there were a few tables for 1 or 2 available. I saw one over there, and there were a couple over here, aside from the window. So I get to the front, and I go to the server, to the host. I go, the bearded guy was there, but there was a different person as well. And I said, look, I saw that there was a table available. I mean, I said, last week I was told there was nothing. And she said, oh, I think there is one. And she brought me here. There was like 2 or 3. And she goes, and I go, look, there's 3 or 4. I saw them from the window. And she goes, oh, we get very busy. You should reserve. And I said, if you told me that before, I would reserve when I leave home, when I walk, because I just live over there, I just walk over. So I said, I will phone when I'm. So I sat here. The waiter was fine. The food was good, excellent food, really good hot sauce. This place would win out over the other because of the hot sauce anyway, So and then the general manager, who I've seen a few times, said hello to. He came to shake my hand, and I complained. I said, look, last week I was told there was no tables at all. I tried to sit at the bar, which is, again, I've come across this as a single diner. Because you're taking up a table that could bring in more money. Because you could have 2 people sitting here, So it would be like double the revenue, and double the tip. So I have experiences before, but it's just something I shrug off, and I deal with it. And when I become a regular, I'm like, I give a good tip, and I'm regular. I sit by myself. I do my podcasting. I talk about now. Fortunately for them, I have so few. Fortunately for the restaurants, I have such little influence. The 20 to 40 viewers, 20 to 50 viewers, that I can't really, even if I give a bad review or a good review, it doesn't affect anybody one way or the other. So my podcasts don't affect it. I do the podcast basically for myself, and the reviews I do are mostly for myself. And my friend out of province watches him gets hungry when she sees that food. You know? but I'm not trying to influence. I'm not trying to go. But so I talked to him and I said, look, you know, this is what happened last time. And he said, last week we were just very, very busy, you know. And he said, if you ever come and there's an issue, he said, you ask for me. He told me his name. He said, you ask for me. And he said, I will find out if there's really not a table. He said, I'll make room for you. So that I appreciated that. So I think I'm going to be a regular here, you know. So that's, I don't know, maybe it was my carny my shirt puts people off. My friend gave me this evening, it says, negative energy and bad vibes. I don't think anybody actually reads it. So maybe I'm not dressed as snazzle, but this is very casual. Everybody becomes casual like it. So I got my emo t-shirt and I got a black shirt on top with the pockets. So I got my Porsche hat. So I'm looking, you know, if there is any bias, I think it's because of and I've experienced this more than once as a single diner. They really do prefer. It's understandable. They do prefer to give it to. Whether it's two people, because you're getting double the money out of the same table, especially when it's busy. So I get that. Another synchronicity here. So the manager comes back and he buys me an Americano. It's $4, $5. And he goes, you know, because of all the stuff I have. And he introduced himself and he sits down for a second and I'm telling him, I said, you know, I do podcasts. I have very little influence. I'm not an influencer. But I show the food and I've shown this place several times. And I showed him the food at the other place, which I said the food was good, but, you know, I didn't like the service. So he sits there, and then I go, yeah, I do this podcast mainly for myself. I don't influence anyone, but I'm a nutty professor. I used to teach. I named the university. I used to teach psychology. And he goes, I had you. He says, I recognize you. He says, I remember you. He said, you're the guy you said that you smoke in the shower. That was back when I smoked. And you know me, whenever I do something, I do it to the extreme, and I probably did smoke in the shower, and I probably mentioned it in class, because I didn't hold back in class, you know, and he kind of high-fived me, and I was like, I was, no fucking way, and he goes, give me one of that, I can't get my former student fired, you know, so anyway, that was exciting. You know. So a little synchronicity. So he bought me my former student. This was like 95. We're talking 30 years ago. So I wouldn't. He would have been like in his 20s then, and he's like in his 50s now, and he's like the general manager of this place. So that's pretty cool. And he bought me a coffee. You know. So bye for now. Sitting here with the ice cream. It's a little coolish, but you know I haven't had this ice cream since last year. So I'm having my pistachio ice cream, sitting by the lake, thinking about the synchronicity of the general manager of that place, who I've seen many times, recognizes me, bought me a coffee because of the inconvenience last week and all of that stuff. And then we find out he's my former student, and he remembers me talking about smoke break and how I used to smoke in the shower. You know, it's like I think I remember when I was driving back then, a Jeep, you know. Anyway, bye for now. It was fun. Bye for now. Very interesting synchronicity. Hey, I actually went to get a chocolate dip cone. They don't have any chocolate dip. And to me, it's no good without the chocolate dip, so I just said, no thanks. I already had the pistachio anyway, so this was just me being excessive, as I tend to be. So anyway, heading home. Hi kids, almost there. Bye for now. Hello everybody, it's now a couple of hours later, and we've got Agita there under the dining table. That's one of her favorite spots these days, new favorite spot. And one of the babies is there, also under the dining table, but appropriate social distance from his unfriendly sister. So we've got one of the babies there, and the other babies very nicely settled there on that cat condo in this room. Now, I got back a few hours ago and I was replying to a friend text, and I told her all about today's kind of entertaining drama llama with the stuff happening at the first restaurant and then walking to the second restaurant. It's in one of those buildings over there on the ground floor, you know. So walking to the second restaurant and finding out that the manager, who, you know, I've recognizes me, you know, he comes to say hello occasionally. Finding out that he was my student 30 years ago. as I told my friend, I told the guy that I'm now a nutty professor at large, but years ago I used to be a real professor. And when he asked where, and I told him, he goes, I was your student, I remember you. And the only thing he really remembers is that I was a fanatic smoker and that I used to smoke. I said, I must have given us an example of something or another. I don't remember what, conditioning or whatever. But I had mentioned, it's the kind of thing I would say in class too, that I used to smoke in the shower, which I had on occasion, not every time I took a shower, but I was known I would have. This is the kind of thing I would do. I had tried a couple of times, so anyway, it's funny that that's what he would remember, So that's what's, I was just reflecting on that. This, was a really nice synchronicity. And maybe he'll even watch these. I gave him an professor card with how to find the link to the podcast. So that was kind of funny, So now, in terms of just updating, I posted the most recent podcast on Wednesday night. Like kind of out of sequence. I posted midweek because the previous one hadn't been on the Sunday. So I'm getting back to the Sunday to Sunday, and I suppose for rounding purposes. Now, if we're talking about amounts of weeks clear and all of that stuff, it's a week clear of casinos. Now, casinos, as you know, are really just a controlled burn because for the other thing, because casinos are less of a health threat, but they are very, very addictive. However, they do sort of work, but there's a fairly high price to pay. So now it's 2.5 weeks, I think, clear from the other thing. But the other thing, the slithering partying, that the last binge, the 2.5 weeks ago one, that one kind of got abruptly cut short due to circumstances out of my control. So there wasn't a lot of partying, So on the one hand, yes, that has kind of increased the pull afterwards. Right afterwards, there was lower pull because I was able to come home and I was relatively sober, So and I got to sleep that night, and a couple of days were okay. But then the pulls ramped up because it was incomplete. The last major binge was like maybe 9 weeks ago now, So there hasn't been a major binge in about 9 weeks. There was a minor one 2.5 weeks ago. So rather than go 2.5 weeks and 9 and 1 and whatever, I'm just going to round. I'm taking artistic license here, and I'm going to round, and this is not 12 steps, and there's not, there isn't the praying and chanting and the higher power that one has to be accountable to. So I am taking the executive decision, and I'm going, okay, let's for, arbitrary purposes. I have also toyed with not using weeks at all, kind of going against that whole 12-step thing. And I've tried that before. But I find that the week thing just kind of helps as a guidepost for me. I kind of need it, but not to the, literal level that the 12-steppers do it, and counting the days and getting poker chips, different color poker chips as positive reinforcers. I wonder if my former student remembers all of that stuff. That's secondary reinforcement from Skinner. The only thing he remembers is that I smoked a lot. But anyway, so I'm going to go 3 weeks. 3 weeks clear since the last binge, and that was a minor binge, and 9 weeks clear since the last big binge, and 1 week clear of casinos. Now, the events during the last, few days have been recorded in footage, which I'm going to edit and post. But the main stuff has been the dentist. And I'm still dealing with that. I'm taking the antibiotics, and that's worked as a big push. That has worked as a push. I'm still dealing with pain. I'm still, taking the antibiotics, which works as a push because you can't mix the antibiotics with other stuff, even if I really, really wanted to. So that's working as a push, even though, and the pulls are still there, but it's okay. I'm taking the antibiotics. I'm taking Advil. I'm still eating from the right side of my mouth, and I'm really hoping the antibiotics kicking soon. I am going to the dentist on Thursday. Now there's a bit of drama llama there too. My dentist, who's the only one I really trust, and I'm sort of dentist phobic, my dentist isn't going to be there, but he's going to get his associate to give the freezing injections. And then we have a new hygienist, and I kind of like the previous hygienist. I'm very phobic, but the previous hygienist I tolerated, and she was very careful, and she'd actually met Carrie Fisher once at a comic conference, a Comic-Con thing, but she's on maternity leave. There's another one, and I heard her through the partition lecturing another patient about using the wrong kind of electric toothbrush or something. I think I use Minions electric, battery powered. I got it on sale at Drug Mart. I like it. It's yellow. It's got Minions on it, and it kind of rotates. I'm pretty sure she'll disapprove of it. Probably better not to mention it. But I did tell the receptionist that if the hygienist starts lecturing me, I'm going to get up and walk out. So there's potential drama llama there, but I think it'll be okay. I really have to get this thing done. I can't wait weeks for the next appointment with the hygienist, So they have to clear the rest of the bacteria, and hopefully the antibiotics and the cleaning will work, and then he can decide which tooth, the two teeth, he's going to try to save one. So he's going to have a look at afterwards, the dentist. So that's what's happening! So there has been minor drama llamas, all kinds of drama llamas, and there was the whole thing. There was the funniest one was with the brunch and walking out of the other place, which brought me back to this place, and then I find out that the manager, who I wouldn't have recognized 30 years ago, he was my student. So that's really funny, So, in terms of the amounts of time clear and everything, so we'll do 1 week clear of casinos, 3 weeks clear, rounding up. 3 weeks clear. I'm using license here. 3 weeks clear of binges, of the last binge, which was an incomplete binge. So really, 9 weeks. Since the major binge, so maybe we can split the difference. Anyway, for now, this is just a guideline. I do these for myself anyway, So, the most important thing is still clear. This tooth thing is a distraction, not a very fun distraction, but it's a distraction. And that whole synchronicity was really fun. Finding out that the manager, who I know, I've said hello to him a few times, and he's come and, he meets and greets, and he comes and stands by the table and says, "How you doing?" Shakes my hand. To realize that he was my student 30 years ago. That's really something. So, that's what's been happening, ups and downs, but on the whole, I guess an okay week, the tooth thing has kind of worked as a good distraction, So, from the four of us, from one of the babies there, one of the babies is there, and Agita is there, So from the 3 kids and myself, the most fucked up, nuttiest, craziest professor to ever walk the face of this earth. Okay? Bye for now. See you next podcast.